You're listening to the Beige Phillip Show with Dante Nero on the Riotcast Network, riotcast.com.
What's up, Square Pin Brigade? On this episode, we got my boy Richie Redding in the building. We're talking about smoking crack and balancing relationships.
Psychotic women
psychotic and understanding the red flags when they first come up.
That's right. Also,
money and pussy.
Yeah. Whether that drives everything. Richie's got a new album coming out. It's called Late Bloomer, so you can pre-order now, right? Correct?
Cop that in stores on Tuesday.
Or that. You could do that too, or pre-order.
It's at Sam Goody right now.
Yeah, that's right. Come out and get it.
It's Virgin Records.
You can see how I took over Capital Wrestling on the Capital Wrestling YouTube channel, Capital Wrestling. And you could, it's a fun time. We're doing
Check out
another event.
Andre's Instagram. He getting swole.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm starting to be concerned. I feel like he's got whatever dead animals he's taking, he's got to stop. He's disconcerted.
Let's get into it.
The sexual revolution is being podcasted.
You are now tuned in.
Worry about my fucking hair. I know you don't have it anymore. You don't give a fuck.
Relationships and sex.
Motorcycles and fist fights. Your hearing's all gone.
When he has no practice. Nobody hit me in the ear. Not to be womanizer. To get the practice.
I can hear the show from your headphones, by the way.
Genius.
So your hearing is fucking gone.
Understanding of underlying concepts.
I'm just trying to get hype.
You relate to situations that seem irrelevant, but really are not.
Andre, you got to get me a Red Bull. You have to be strong enough to protect yourself from her emotions. Well, wait till I introduce you. Strong enough. Oh, we recorded now?
Oh, we're recording now, yeah. I was getting up on the professionalism while we wait to change the theme music. Oh, we got to get new.
I got Red Bull in the drawer. What's real and what's not real and what's just her emotional state.
We're coasting on the intro, but the show is still good. This is the intro.
Perfect. You want to know how to
the intro we coast over.
You ask the hunter. You don't ask the deer. The deer is being the deer. He doesn't know anything else but how to be. Just being her. As a hunter, I need to study her patterns and her behaviors so that I can put this bullet in her. And by the bullet, I mean this shit.
You know the rest.
Like, we all get got. Everybody gets got. Everybody goes through these bad situations, these relationships, and we try to learn from it. And sometimes we're too close to it. You can't even step back and learn from it. What's going on, y'all? GYBB, get your balls back. BABB, be a better bitch. WWDD, what would Dante do? The sexual revolution is being podcasted. And I'm excited.
Wow.
We're in the building. It's going to be a good show. We got a special show tonight because we got a special guest.
Wow.
Oh, me?
Special guest in the building. We've been trying to get this guy in here. And I know I've said it's a special show 300 times before.
Right.
But this time I mean it.
Right. This time is different.
You ready, Harry? You ready?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Having a tough time keeping these gators down. I haven't said that in a while.
They say pimping ain't easy. Gets easier when you practice.
Absolutely.
Andre's in here, got a new fresh cut. Was on Jamaica Ave getting this lined up. You look like you going for the Navy SEALs.
That's a today cut?
You good, Jay?
Nah, 2 days ago.
You good?
Chilling.
You good, my nigga? You good?
Decent.
Word?
Decent.
You ready to rock and roll?
Ready to rock.
I can't even hear you.
Can't hear me?
Yeah, because you're not talking into the mic, my dude.
I'm not hearing.
You're not hearing you?
Oh, wait.
Hearing you?
But I can hear you.
Richie, hold on.
Richie's
Let's see.
You hear you?
Wait, let me
adjust your volume.
Yeah.
Let me introduce this guy. Very funny dude. Opens up for Cap Williams. Been on all kinds of shit. Ripping it up in the city like a motherfucker. Yo, give it up for my dude, Richie Redding. Yo, give it up for Richie.
Yeah, man. 2 days before my 40th birthday edition.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, man.
I mean, what are you, Sag? Libra. Oh, word. The scales. Like I know what that shit means. I don't fucking
I'm happy you bailed on that.
Yo, my ex-wife was a fucking Libra.
What does that mean?
So I almost called Richie a cunt. He's like, I'm a Libra. I'm like, so you're a cunt, huh?
You cheating bitch. What?
No, she wasn't cheating. She never cheated. Well, all right. And I mean, let's be honest, neither did I.
What? You said, let's be honest.
Yeah. You also were real shifty-eyed when you said it.
Yeah.
Well, come on. Everybody knows me. Everybody that listens, they know me. What the fuck?
Well, listen, you were a married man. You take those vows very seriously.
That's right. Love, honor, and obey.
That's why you fucked it up at first.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Started mixing up speeches.
Yo, I'm
Turn my
just
headphones
saying,
up. Love.
Yeah. So, she's
only
she's
one
a
true
Libra.
queen.
She's a Libra. Very, very loyal in a sense. Just a selfish bitch, but whatever. But come on, isn't it?
I don't know if that depends on what time of year you're born.
I don't think so either. I don't think the same thing. I don't believe in fucking horoscopes and shit. But I will say the meanest bitches I ever met in the world is Taurus women.
Jeez,
the absolute meanest bitches ever. They are. I don't like a mean shit. Good, great friends. They good to their friends. They take care of them. But when you are on the other end of that fucking,
when you cross them,
the other end of those horns, that's.
But
not
isn't that every woman though?
Nah. Not like this was. I told you this, right? I told you she got pregnant and she had got an abortion and she made me go to the abortion. And I mean, I know it says, of course you went. You should go, right?
Okay.
No, I had to go in the operating room
with her
while the fucking shit was going on.
Damn.
Because the abortion was your idea and she's like getting you back for it or some shit?
Yeah.
Is it like when you get a tooth pulled, do you get to keep it?
If you want.
Put it in
if you want. But I didn't have any Tupperware with me. So,
get a pickle jar.
I didn't have any Tupperware.
Dude, you pay $4.50, you should at least get some kind
That's
of
where
token.
they get the stem cells and DNA and shit.
Yeah, for a while they didn't allow that.
Yeah, well,
Christian.
We'll talk later. I got to hook up.
Oh, yeah.
I
got some baby.
Yeah,
I got to get some of them baby guts to fix my knee.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an old motherfucker. I feel like, every time I have sex with a younger girl, I'll be like, what does she look like when I've been around on this earth when she was not born? You know what I mean? So, like, if I had saw her, I would be like, oh, yo, that's all pamper in there? Yo, Ma, that's all pamper? He was like, what the fuck are you, a creep? I'm like, I'm not talking about for now. I'm talking about for later. Stop, bitch.
Yeah.
Jumping the gun.
Yeah. I definitely started feeling older when I would see, like, a hot girl walking down the street with her mom and be like, yo, Mom could get it.
Yeah, I was doing that when I was 8.
Yeah, I was doing that early.
Really?
Oh, hell yeah.
No, you never looked at your friend's mom and...
Not over the 20-year-old.
Right, he's saying he's passing up on the 20-year-old.
I don't mean like...
Oh, the mom better than the girl?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
The mom look way better than the daughter.
A lot of times I'll be like, the mom and the daughter can get it.
Never
Together.
Latinas.
What do you mean never Latinas?
What do you mean?
Because at 39...
They like
that shit crashes hard.
not like Asian women. Asian women be hot and then they look like Mr. Miyagi. Well, like the day after their 32nd birthday.
They go from being 13 to carrying cans.
Right.
There's no in between.
Yeah, it's the hunched over thing. It's a bowing culture. I think they just over time.
Yeah, just
them bitches are strong though.
Yeah,
a lot of cans.
We have
fighting off rats.
You know a lot of useless dumb shit. What,
Andre?
There's a tree across the street that the Asian lady comes and takes the nuts from it and makes tea or some shit. The fuck is that? Like during fall, she comes and collects. In the morning, she collects all the nuts.
Damn.
Bitch like nuts.
But you know what? I've heard that you might know this already, but that the whole picking up bottles and cans hustle, that it's all those old Chinese ladies doing it.
I think I know you're going with it.
That they're all going back to basically one guy. There's one dude running them all.
Oh, really?
A can pimp?
Yeah, he's a can pimp in Chinatown. It's like some triad shit.
Really?
But part of them coming over here is that they're like indentured servants.
Oh, and they gotta pick up cans.
Yeah, come on over, bitch. You will be picking cans for the next 20 years.
Yeah, shit.
They're strong.
I heard
fuck,
about that.
though.
Yeah, well,
because I have seen the re-up where they drop off the cans and it's always a dude.
Some little skinny Asian dude with a cigarette
and
in a black suit.
Mad balance.
Looking like the 2100 motherfuckers in Kill Bill.
The crazy 88s or whatever?
Yeah, whatever. The 2100 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's Kill Bill. I know you don't.
That was 10
I'm in the industry. So the Kill Bill 3 is...
Kill Bill 3?
It's 2,100 more.
They used 10 extras 200 times. Same Chinese dudes.
You made Harry check his phone. This nigga ain't shit on his goddamn phone.
It's the crazy 2,100 motherfuckers in Kill Bill 3.
Harry, what happened to your back bra that you were wearing earlier?
The back, the posture corrector thing that I had on my back?
A back titty bra.
I don't know why you thought that you could come here and put that on.
I didn't. No, here's what happened. No. Fucking stupid Andre goes, what the fuck?
You don't want those things sagging on you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I work on the titties on my back, the ones on the front will be less prominent.
Harry thick from all sides.
Yeah. Clean them up.
I'm just unwilling to drink that yak piss like you to get that muscle growth. That's all.
Challenge!
Whatever you want to say, I'm fine with it.
Andre's got muscles above his ears. I've never seen that shit.
Oh,
I have a fat head.
Nah, that little piece of sunglass meat. You got that muscle.
You do have that one worked out. Yeah, that one is
sunglass meat. That's the first time I heard that.
He's doing it.
I got roasted for this shit since junior high.
you got the fat
Look
temples.
at them. Move them shits. No, you can't see it behind the...
Yeah.
No, I can see it.
Oh, yeah.
On
On this side.
Yeah.
You got fat behind your ears.
Yeah, he does lips and ears at the gym on Fridays.
I just never know that God was not really careful putting your ears on.
Nah,
He just
that's
was like,
rush
yo,
delivery.
just put them shits on. They're like, but
Rush
Gabriel,
delivery.
these don't fit. They're like, fuck out of here.
That's when you pay for Amazon Prime last minute. Just start throwing them bitches in the box.
Richie, what's going on, brother? How you? It's good to see you.
I'm good, man.
Wrecking it up. How's the lady situation?
The lady sitch is good. I'm actively avoiding marriage at this point.
And you got a girl or no?
Oh, yeah.
But you're trying
I've been in
to...
a relationship for 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she's like a pretty legit person. She's a veterinarian with the practice and all that.
Nice.
And I almost feel like there's manipulation happening
What do you mean?
in that she's like so laissez-faire about marriage that she
It's gotta be a trap.
that she plays it so cool
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like I feel like,
Like a reverse
and I know
type of thing?
she's super fucking smart, so I feel like
You're like, oh, this is the long game con. I see where you're going.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's
it's
no winning.
coming. It's coming a lot
coming,
more
baby.
from her mom makes comments and shit. Like in front of both of us, she offered to freeze her eggs, which is
Really?
like 20 G's. Yeah.
Wait, her mom offered to what?
To freeze her eggs.
Why didn't
To
you
freeze
just
your girl's
if-
eggs.
If I was talking to a girl and her mom offered 20 G's to freeze her, I'm like, I'll fuck her now. Give me the 20 G's.
Hey, I'm just
I do it in
afraid.
front of you.
I'm just afraid her pussy's going to be cold. You know what I mean?
You never had a little cold pussy? Not bad. Little ice cubes in it. You're like, ooh.
Yeah, but if it gets freezer burned,
Ooh.
Yeah, you don't want
that shit ain't going to taste right.
So, nah.
much like ice cream, I'm still going in anyway. Even if I see the freezer burn, I'll just scrape it to the side.
I was at the lawyer today, right? And there was this old dude was not old. I mean, because I'm an old dude. Let's be honest. But he's a little older than me, and he fucking was in the elevator with me, right? And this young girl went to get on. She was on a bike, right? But she had like fucking 4 cold sores on her mouth, right? And so the guy, he was like, "Oh, we're going up," right? And then we went up, and I was like, I'm just glad she didn't come in here with all them cold sores. So he goes, "Yeah, I didn't even see that." I go, "You married?" He goes, "I'm going to get my divorce papers now." I was like,
You better start looking.
"You got to start looking for those cold sores."
You better keep an eye out.
Yeah, that is not a subtle red flag there, Pop.
The son, she had a bike helmet and 4 cold sores.
Yeah, she had all 4 corners covered.
Actually, her shit was like tic-tac-toe. It was like she could have won tic-tac-toe with all them cold
It
sores.
just reminded me of there was some awful show that you were just hanging out at, and there was some dude that had like just his canine teeth that was heckling everybody.
Oh, we was over here.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
And they asked you if you want to go up. Like, nah, I want to wind up knocking this dude the fuck out. Right? And I was like, dude, he's already missing his teeth. You're like, it's a 7-10 split. I'll pick up that spare. 7-10 split for teeth.
Yeah, that was that guy who was a fucking crackhead.
He's an ex-crackhead.
He was an ex-crackhead who was heckling everybody.
And he thought he really enjoyed the part. He
had a great time.
He was like, you guys are great. And we were like, you suck, though.
Yeah, I mean, ex-crackhead, like, I'm a dude that's in drug recovery, and I feel
really?
What
kind of drugs you do?
Whatever you got, but I feel
I'm resourceful.
I'm not a picky user.
I feel like once you've crossed over the line to crackhead,
you are a crackhead.
Yeah, it's like if a girl is a skank.
You ever smoke crack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you never hear about a former skank.
Yeah.
Right, recover.
Yeah.
There's no recovery.
Yeah, when I first met her, I thought she was a skank, but she turned out to be a wonderful, loving mother.
She's great with the kids. You should see her in a kitchen. She bakes a mean peach cobbler.
They had a whole meme about it. Drea, the bitch from Love and Hip Hop or Basketball Wild, she was like how your wholeness could get deleted. Like if you were a hoe but you don't fuck for like 6 months to a year,
then you're clear.
It like backs off or some shit.
No, bitch.
No.
It was all of us. We were like, nah.
You say that now until you and Nicki Minaj are at the same fucking gala, and then you throw a shoe at her.
Wrong black girl.
Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Yeah,
that was
with
talking
Nicki
about
Minaj.
Drea.
Yeah, I know. That's I went somewhere else with it. Yeah, whatever you're taking, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, whatever.
What's going on with you?
I ain't get it.
Way to yes end that one.
It's got to be that Lithuanian dog piss that he's drinking.
Trying to get an extra vascularity.
Yeah.
But wait, have you guys never smoked crack?
No,
bunch of squares.
And Richie slowly starts to pack his things. He goes, "Well,
so
this is not the show I thought I was going to be part of."
Here's my ascot.
My word. Good day, sir.
My smoking jacket's getting clean. So.
I only smoked it a few times because I was really wary of it. But like, I was definitely a cokehead for a solid 10 years. But
damn.
I was walking down the street and I was all geeked up and
on crack.
No, on coke. It was late enough that like I'm sure I was fucking staggering. And this black dude was like 15 feet behind me. I sensed it that he like picked up my stride, you know. And from behind me, I hear like, "Yo, white boy, I got them rocks." And I was like, "I'm good, man." He's like, $10. And I don't say anything. And he's like, $5, I'll give you a rock. And I was like, $2. He's like, all right, sold. So
got a $10 rock for $2. You know what's
buddy,
great?
I fucking
is you have an addiction and a great haggle.
I got 80% off a crack rock.
I mean, who can't take
good.
that?
Yeah.
Who can't take that?
You gotta take that. You don't smoke crack.
Yeah,
right?
these prices are insane. I did the whitest thing possible with it. That I took it. I was like right by my apartment, and I put it in a bong and took like one huge crack hit of like filter through the water or whatever. And this is what
because it's fresher that way.
This is what it's so clean. It's so cool. This is what a crackhead feels like. It says, "Oh my god, I'm really fucking high. I want more."
Really?
I'm sad.
It's that. It's
like, but you feel it in your balls. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like
wow. All over your body.
If there was a white girl, I definitely would have raped her. Like is that wrong podcast?
No. Actually, you're in the right one. You're in the right one now.
God, yeah.
And you did it again or no?
Did it a couple more times, but
did you feel like you could? But you could see how you could get addicted because it's so like.
Yeah, it's It's like it's really kind of a full body high. Like right. Coke is kind of like just your head, but crack it's like more like a full body kind of super alert euphoria type thing.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah,
you gotta get under smoking some crack because you're not fucking alert at all.
Yeah, I mean I've heard though that it's not good for you.
People say that, but on the internet I've read an article.
But they just want to get in a National Geographic. You know these doctors.
Yeah, the second time I did it, I sucked that guy's dick the same night for some crack.
And
did
he give you the same cut or a break? He give you another $2 rock. This time, like $2. He goes, it's $2.
I thought this was going to be a way bigger rock. With this buy-in, come on, pal.
Like, what's your name, fella? He goes, hey, Eddie, crazy Eddie. The prices are insane. That's an
old reference. I get
Andre has no idea what we're talking
Andre doesn't know about. You don't know about
Andre
Crazy
hasn't
Eddie.
known what since he got his hair cut, he changed.
Yeah.
Since you're
I don't
lying,
like corporate
I like
Andre.
it better when your hair looks like you cut it with a broken Heineken bottle. All rough on the side.
I like how you're wearing your do-rag over the shoulder like an undone tie, like you're at like a charity
That's how you
function.
stumbled, fuckface.
What?
Harry's still trying to get over that back bra.
It's a back brace.
He got to lash out while he can.
Stupid Andre asked me, "What is this?" And I tried to explain, but he's so dumb I had to show him what it was. And now I'm
And then
getting
you
roasted
hoisted
for
your
it.
back titties up. Fuck off.
Harry's the only guy whose back titties are so big they make his chest hurt.
It's true.
It's like, geez, my chest is killing me. Why? My sternum.
Right?
I need extra support, Rich.
Too much soy.
Oh my God! Well, that's it. So, and do you think is she a good girl? Your girl's a good girl, like, or do you? How's she with the comedy and running around and the travel?
It rears its head like once every couple months.
Like how?
Like that. She has this concept of like what a normal couple should be, and spending nights together and shit. And I can't.
And you'll be
spend
like,
nights.
yeah, and you shouldn't also smell like dog shit when you come from the vet. How about that? It's a lot of couples that don't smell like dog shit, huh?
Yeah.
Why don't you take those fucking scrubs off and put some heels on sometimes? Stop putting a scrunchie in your hair and fucking comb your hair.
Dante will take the legs out of anyone, no matter what profession it is. It could be goddamn Condoleezza Rice.
Like fucking Mother Teresa. Yeah. Oh, bitch, you don't want to show nobody no ankles or nothing, you fucking bitch. You probably got alopecia under that nun habit. What the fuck is wrong with you?
But,
what you hiding, bitch?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
But no, it is a weird dynamic sometimes, like that her shit is so professional, ours is so, like, just what we do is so different. Like,
but you have you've had a lot. I mean, you were running around with Cat for a minute. You were opening for Cat. How long did you still open for him or no?
I haven't been on the road with him for a couple years, but I did 150 shows straight with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But, relationship-wise.
Now tell me the third time you did crack. And somehow was it with...
No.
I'm just fucking
Well, no, actually, what's funny was that Kat was really protective of my sobriety.
Really?
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, talking about crack shit, I've been sober for 10 years.
Okay.
And I had a lot of like nerves and shit about it of like
being out and trying to keep it together.
Yeah, you project, you don't know what you're about to get into, and like I was fearful about it. That it was like I'm gonna be on a private plane, everybody's gonna be smoking weed, like
So you don't smoke weed either?
No, I've been stone sober for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's like, are they gonna like me? Am I gonna fit in? Am I gonna get fucking secondhand high and wind up, doing whatever? And he was like, there was one time ever, like the first show that I did with him, he went to pass me a blunt and he called himself and he was like, "Oh, you're sober," and like the only times I was ever uncomfortable was because he was so protective of that like. Some girl who was just, some chick in the green room went to pass me a blunt. Like, you don't want to smoke? You don't want to? And he's like, bitch, if that man wants to smoke, he can fucking smoke on his own. He's been sober for, like, he knew my day count.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. So no, I mean, there's never anything on that front.
What's interesting about him is I really, I admire him as a comic. I mean, I think he's a brilliant comic. I just don't know where to disconnect this sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, the disconnect with all the shit that's going on in because I've seen everybody that I know that knows him they say he's generous as fuck, just like a
amazingly generous,
good dude, and
it's just like polarizing figures,
Yeah, but I don't know with all the shit that Kev he's going through with Kevin. It's like why pop shots on?
It's odd because even with that, I think in a grander sense, he's trying to fight for. Even that was kind of generous in a way, even though it was hurting
for
individuals.
His people.
It was hurting kind of like he saw the greater good. Like, it's great for Tiffany Haddish, but what happened to everybody else and all the other people got passed over. But I don't know. You know, I mean, maybe that's what it is.
So if he was around back in the days, he'd have been like, "Yo, it's great for Frederick Douglass, but what about all the rest of the slaves?"
I mean, I think for the most part, most of the media level stuff that he's doing is, he knows how to keep his name in shit. Even if it is dissing somebody.
Yeah.
When an OG is putting down an up and comer, it can look kind of shitty, but it's like you're talking about him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's proof of the any press is good press. Thing.
Yeah. It's just I think he's such a great comic. It's like I don't know, man. I don't know if I feel like I would ever want to. I just don't want to make my bones like that. You know what I mean?
I seen a video when he was like telling Kev that he'll fight him, and he said, "Baby, I box. I be in the streets. 5'5", 145." He gave his weight like that's intimidating to anybody. 5'5", 145.
No, but I think what he's saying is, at 5'5", 145, I'll beat your ass, even though I'm only 5'5".
That's not how he said it. He didn't suggest. He was like, "Nigga, I'm out here, boy. 5'5", 145 in these streets."
Yeah, I mean, it's an even height matchup. Kev's got a lot more muscle.
Kev is like 5'3".
Kev is so in shape.
He's running marathons. He's doing pull-ups. If it goes past 30 seconds,
Kev got his own sneakers. So that's all it says. He has some workout sneakers.
Can you imagine being part of his entourage where you're like, "Hey, man, what are we doing? Hitting the nightclub? What are we doing?"
Like, no, we going jogging,
get your sneakers, bitch.
Well, no, that's the crazy thing.
I thought we were supposed to.
Dude, Kev turns up, but then
I've seen it on Instagram. You just show pictures of him like when he's in New York running through Central Park with 7 dudes.
Yeah, well, that's what sucks is when you're somebody's bodyguard.
That's Mayweather. That's like Mayweather. Mayweather like, "Y'all motherfuckers party. I'm going to bed. Go have a good time. I'll see y'all at 5.
Yeah.
You like 5.
Yeah, I had seen one where he would leave. He would go to the club, but after the club, in his truck, basically, he has his stuff, his workout clothes he'll change into, and then run alongside the truck, going home. Immediately after the club, it's just like, all right, no wonder why you've never been.
But Harry likes Conor McGregor better, but whatever.
It's more enjoyable, more entertaining. Congratulations to the most boring champ in the world, Floyd Mayweather.
You mean precision?
It's boring.
It's
the hugging.
boring.
I'm not talking
It's
about the
not
precision
real
of the bugging. It's what?
It's not real fun to watch.
Right. I'm not.
It's
I
fun
understand
to
why
watch.
it's not fun to watch. I don't like watching guys hug. I know you do, Andre, but I don't.
Says back brace man. It's
That's
fun
not
to
even an
watch.
insult, bro. You're just doing references, Andre.
It's fun to watch. You just
It's
don't
not
understand.
fun to watch. No, I
boxing.
understand it. I get it.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I've for the last year and a half, I've had to cover it, so I understand the nuance of why he wins with that strategy. That being said, it's boring to watch him win. I'm not interested. I'd rather watch Mexican fighters just go at it.
So if he was boring, why is he like one of the top pay-per-view people ever?
Because he wins. You know,
So then it's not
the
boring.
shit talking. The shit talking is great.
That
He
defeats
wins.
it. That's
listen. I'm not a big boxing fan to begin with. Why'd you put on your shades?
Because we going down this road again.
Well, again, the conversation is whether I find it entertaining. I do not find it entertaining.
All of a sudden, you look like you're in the Mayans.
Yeah.
Those shades.
Oh,
really.
Jesus.
I'm trying to get that call. I want to get that. Give me a reoccurring in that call.
Why'd you start calling yourself Dante Nero? What is that? Dante Nero. It's me, Dante Nero. Fernando Nero.
Shit, I hope I get that.
Come on.
I'm waiting to get that Mayans call. God damn.
I got my own motorcycle.
You shut up. You don't know what the fuck's going to happen.
They all 5 feet, dog. With no tap. You're going to stand out.
That might be a problem, Dante.
The
He's right about that.
one large nigga. It's
They
not going
might,
to work.
I'm going to be like, they'll give, because anything I do, I always got a one name.
Yo, can you ride your bike with a sombrero? That might make.
If you cut the check, nigga, I will cut it. I'll ride it with a top hat. I don't give a fuck.
Poncho and no underpants. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Hey, look.
Let's do this.
What you got the check? Cut the check. Cut the check. I used to have motherfuckers with fighting. Motherfuckers, oh yeah, that white boy beat you up. I was like, nigga, you got the check.
Yeah.
I'll let your grandmother beat me. I don't give a fuck. Just get the money right.
Dante has been kicked through more windows by people half his size.
Yo, that
Every
is-
film is the same thing. It's like, hey man, who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
Like,
And then
oh,
take
you
the
want a piece of blah. Get the mats out. Get the mats out. I went did something in the fucking. They had mats like that look like concrete.
Yeah.
Like when they paint, they have an airbrush where they airbrush it like it's concrete.
So it looks like concrete?
Yeah. So when motherfucker hits me, I can take the dive. I'm like...
Yo, who's the Asian Dante? The dude in, like, Bloodsport?
Oh, Bolo.
Chung Lee? The guy who played Chung Lee?
I feel like his name's like Liu Kang or something. Like, the motherfucker that just fights by throwing barrels and shit. Like, the most swole Chinaman of all time. Is Bolo?
Bolo. The one from Bruce Lee, I mean.
Yeah, he was in a Bruce Lee movie, too.
Bruce Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He did. You don't remember he breaks the guy in half in Enter the Dragon? Remember Enter the Dragon?
Yeah.
He breaks the guy in half.
Yeah.
Almost no speaking lines ever.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate fight of two dudes just taking beatings.
Well, he did a couple of leads later on, like leads, but he didn't. Do you know what annoys me? Fucking Sammo Hung. You know Sammo Hung was the fat kung fu dude?
Nah.
I only saw him towards the end when he had a TV show or something.
Sammo? But he was in Ip Man and all that shit. Sammo Hung. He plays like the big boss.
Yeah. Okay.
Shit now, but whatever. I don't know. I was thinking.
I heard everybody was kung fu fighting. Is that right?
Yeah, people do kung fu. Ha! What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So this thing of subtle. Do you think your lady is subtly trying to go there, or you think she just doesn't give a fuck?
I don't know. I think we both have like a lot of goals and. A lot of
what's her goals? I mean, she's already there.
No, she's because they do a podcast together. I've been on the podcast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Really?
With the pets about pets. So I don't know if that's the goal or if you're just doing it for fun.
Yeah,
but I think I think she can do it because she's very personable. And I think she's trying to be like more of a personality with the animals. Maybe that's the career goal.
We're kind of on that path with her. That we're pitching a show that's she's a house call vet. And she takes care of like neurotic rich New Yorkers' pets in their apartments.
Okay,
crazy shit like fucking.
That's like
people. So I don't understand why is she talking about this? See,
people what?
White people
shit
cloning their dogs. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing that gets me.
Okay.
So when I was married, right? My ex-wife was like, a husband and wife should never be away from each other. They should never sleep away from each other, right? And I was like, look, but she was going for her
PhD.
Well, she never got to that. That's why we broke up, because she went to PhD. And not that we broke up because of the PhD, but we broke up because she, it was like I helped her. First of all, she was dumb as shit. And I helped her become more acclimated to college. So I taught her how to write term papers. I taught her, taught her how to do research, taught her, whatever. And then once she got the fever for education, she was unstoppable, but almost neurotic about it, where she became so engrossed in
time for anything else.
And she was just kind of overdid it, she would never sleep during the night. She would sleep during the day. So she'd come home from work, from school, because she was a teacher. She'd come and sleep, and then get up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then she'd be working on papers from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning. So it was this weird kind of, like I would do gigs, come home like 1, 2 o'clock, and she would be up, right? Yeah. But when I left, she would come and go right to sleep. And so it was, but the thing was, just there's no balance. Like, everything was like overdoing it. Like if she was in a class and she got the syllabus, like say the class started today, right? She was working on the paper tonight.
Right.
Like, and then staying up till 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean,
tonight.
My girl definitely overdoes it. That work-life balance shit, because it puts expectations on it. When somebody makes themselves crazy by being busy, it puts expectation that when they have time, you're supposed to just magically have that same matching time. And be able to, and be all in with it.
Right.
But she's basically in the process of starting 2 companies at the same time right now. Jesus. And she does all this media shit. So it's like, she's busy as fuck. And I mean, it's great. I don't want to. We have a great relationship.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fuck it up with this
What's
podcast.
the name of the podcast, by the way?
The podcast is called Pets and Punchlines. It's comics with pets talking to vets. It's the dumbest and best idea. It's just
fun.
It's just comedians talking about their dogs and cats. And
Can I come on and just talk about Andre?
So that will come.
He doesn't shit on the rug per se, but he definitely is lazy.
He's a fourth mic.
Yeah. He eats all my food.
But yeah, I mean that's a thing that like she drives herself nuts. She's like overly available to her clients, which is like when you have 300 clients that all have pets that they're neurotic about.
It's a never-ending thing.
Yeah, it's never ending. So like she's got to learn how to shut that shit off sometimes. And
well, I was saying, what? Sorry about that. That wasn't even
soundboard
a ring. But the
killer soundboard you got there.
You know what? There was this obsession about it, and then it was like, well, but my point was, it was like I don't want to. So she did some online courses as well, and so it was how you do that. You get your degree online, but you still have to go to the campus to to certain tests or do certain things or show up in class, and then all of a sudden it was like it was a situation where she had to go to another state to take classes on the weekend, or maybe it might have even been I don't remember, might have been weekdays, where now it had to go. Now what I was supposed to do was go with her and sit in the hotel until she, and it was like it was just not like, at the time I was with my daughter, so it was cool. We hung out the first time we did it. We hung out, me and my daughter hung out and shit like that. But the second time, I'm like, I'm not dictating my life based on what your syllabus says.
Yeah.
And so what's interesting is this. What just struck me as interesting is that you say that that thing rears its head up about how abnormal dating a comic is, and that you're pursuing your dream and your career, and then all of a sudden, then when you say that she's overly accessible to her clients and stuff like that, and super busy, and so it's like this whole thing where you don't look at yourself. You know, like what are you really going to lay this line down? And then you're going to follow the line that you're talking about? Like, so if she's overly accessible to the clients, I don't know how you could bitch about somebody doing comedy because your shit is different.
Yeah, well, kind of like a recurring through line is like when this. I'm a big believer that you don't have 100 fights in a relationship. You have the same fight 100 times. And like it'll be like she's already sleeping. And I come home and she like checks the clock. Like, what were you doing? Like, hanging out at New York Comedy Club. Why were you hanging out until? Why are you hanging out for 2 hours after your spot? Because I was hanging out. Why? Because it's part of my job. Why? This isn't normal. Okay, but normal to who?
Right.
That's kind of the thing.
Guess what? After the 100th time, this is normal.
Right.
No matter what it is.
Right. But it's also.
Let me ask her. Listen,
it's happened enough that it can always come back.
But is it normal? Like, hey, why'd you have your hand in a dog's asshole today? That's not normal.
Well,
except,
no. I mean,
except it is because she's a fucking vet.
Well, no. I mean, to me, it's more just like the time thing, and it's like, well, it's not normal that your phone buzzes at 5 a.m. You pick it up and answer it. So that your client doesn't have to wait for 3 hours.
Now, when you put
dog is throwing up.
When you put that out there, what is her response to that?
It processes and then it levels off, and
so she's not okay. Like where it's
she's a reasonable person.
Yeah.
But it rears its head every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean,
makes sense. I mean, listen.
You know what's funny about that? I feel I'm a firm believer that you got to be in a situation where, I say this over and over again. I never negotiate the non-negotiables.
Right.
So if comedy is something that's non-negotiable, I'm not talking about this.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have that conversation once, and then I'm not having it again.
At the beginning of every relationship that I've had in the last 10 years, the first time some kind of fight when there's
what's going on,
when there's some kind of shittiness over, I'm choosing to go do shows instead of watch a fucking DVD with you.
Going to watch those, you hang out with your goofy ass friends that you don't even like.
This is the exact conversation, which is that like, look, if you want to be in a relationship with me, these are the two things that aren't going to change about me. I'm a comedian and I'm an alcoholic. I go to meetings. I can't drink. I can never drink. And I do comedy. It's all I care about. I was doing that before I met you. I'm going to do it after you. So you're not getting into a situation that you didn't know about. You know, like the girl that I was dating when I first started doing comedy, it was like she thought she was going to get a white picket fence with a banker, and then I quit that job. And
what were you doing before you did comedy?
I was managing a mortgage company.
Okay. I believe that.
Yeah,
you look like a fucking manager of a mortgage. Yeah, like if I didn't know Richie Redding the comedian, I'd be like, if I was casting a fucking manager at a bank, it'd be you.
I can get you a real nice adjustable rate swing loan, baby. It's got a big old
balloon mortgage,
big old balloon on the end of that fucker, but a real cheap up front. We will take your house.
But you're saying like, hey, she had a right to be a little disappointed because you changed
because
changed horses
I
midstream.
changed so much in the middle of it, but like that's always been a really important thing for me. Sense is like
being upfront about it.
These two things won't change. Yeah.
Right.
And at first, it's always like, I love it. That's what's so cool
on both
about
those fronts too. But like I know a bunch of guys that were sober for a couple years. They start dating a girl, and it's like, why don't you ever drink? Like, okay, so you had some, you got too drunk and you got in a car accident once. Like, just drink with me. Just have a couple glasses of wine. Yo, I know dudes buried over that shit.
Really? That because they bent the rules. Couldn't bend the rules. Didn't have the ability to bend the rules and hold it together, and died from it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Makes sense. Because also, especially the other thing is, generally speaking, any chick that does that, it tends to be somebody who wants to party hard.
Right.
And certainly is going to... I know Craig Gass went through that, where there's a chick, you're like, come on, just have a little bit. And then it's like, that person wants to party, so they have zero boundaries to begin with.
Right.
So once you unleash that beast, you are on that ride with somebody who is in your fucking...
and it's somebody that you can't be honest with.
Right.
It's somebody that you're kind of... You're just holding on to them by the tips of your fingers. You don't actually have them, so it's like, you're going to do whatever you can to appease this person. But like, there's a thing that, alcoholics say that, like, the number one offender that takes out alcoholics is resentments.
Meaning?
Resentments meaning, you have this unresolved thing that you keep brewing over and brewing over and brewing over until you pick up a drink because you just got so much pressure on you. Self-made pressure, but like the underlying thing.
Give me a for instance. Well,
hold on. But the underlying thing to that is that all resentments come down to money and pussy, right? Like, you don't really get mad at somebody. Dudes don't get mad at each other over shit, like, to the point that it's like, I'm fucking going crazy unless there's money or pussy involved. For the most part.
I almost beat up Sammy Sosa this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
Wait, what?
No.
That's a different...
You almost beat the black back onto him? That motherfucker is bright pink.
Because I'm thinking about money and pussy. Nah, dog, it was...
What is the premise of this again? I'm sorry. Give me...
He's saying it all comes down to money and pussy, and it's...
That's like what gets guys into the most, the most really emotional states where they're like to a point of self-harm.
Wow, that's interesting.
Is money and pussy.
I mean, for the most part, probably, yeah.
I don't agree with that. Well, I agree with that, but in a sense, and not fully.
In a way that, like, can't sleep kind of shit. So resent means to refeel, right? If you break down the Latin of it. And like, when you're refeeling something over and over, it's usually something to do with one of those two things.
Give me an example.
Just shit where, well, I mean, first of all, just, an ex-girlfriend that I had, like, the biggest resentment I had since I've been sober was a girl that 8 years ago, thought I was going to marry, and it was like I met her, where alcoholics meet, and it was like I had 3 months, she had 1 month. I had 6 months, she had 1 month. I had 1 year, she had 1 month, and it was all this shit where like we were like in love, but she wouldn't make any changes, and it was weird shit where like she knew where all the weird stuff was at my parents' house, but I had never had dinner with her parents. And but like because so we like broke up, but because the sex was so good, kept like walking back into it, and putting sex first over everything else, even though I knew it was going to be like emotional torture, and just like walking into the guns of her indifference. So it's that kind of thing where it's like you don't do that, you don't put yourself through that kind of emotional shit unless there's sex involved or
money.
Now here's where I agree and here's where I disagree. And this is me and Harry talk about this a lot. How my thinking on things is so proactive, right? Mm-hmm. So let me go back to the Sammy Sosa thing, right? Yeah. So Sammy Sosa.
We got to explain that story.
So,
I'm on the edge of my seat.
So we went to. It wasn't really Sammy Sosa. It was a Dominican dude, but Matt Richards was there. That's
this will explain the whole thing.
So what happened is we had went up to. Shout out to Jay, who came out to Fairfield. The two dudes, all the black dudes that came through.
I don't remember the names. I'm terrible at names.
Man, I'm
and
really.
I apologize.
I know you don't. You
don't know shit, Andre. You piece of shit.
I was on time today, though.
You weren't on. Oh yeah, you were on time today.
Yes, I was.
You were on time today.
But it was shout out to all the Beige Phillip fans that came through at the Fairfield, Connecticut.
That was great to see.
Comedy club. It was really
nice
good
to see all the Beige Phillip fans.
Word.
Big shout out to Jay because Jay was the one female that came in.
Oh, Jay was a girl this whole time.
Yeah. And she
didn't know.
And she was just like really. She was like, that the show really helped her through a breakup, and that always touches me. Look, I always help I always help dudes.
Yeah.
And I think the philosophies that we talk about is universal. The reason why we talk to men is because you can't fix a relationship from talking to a woman. And here's why I say that. So I'm unpacking a lot of shit here.
How I got to defend that to all the white girls.
Well, I don't really
because they don't come up to you. They come up to me.
They should because then I would explain
they don't want to. They don't want to. They don't want to. So instead, when I do Keith and the Girl, I am the one who has to fucking explain.
So
what Dante means by it doesn't mean bitches ain't shit. What he really means.
Let's be honest. Sometimes bitches ain't shit. Sometimes dudes ain't shit.
It's a pejorative that he's using.
Don't worry about bitch. Worry about shit. Change shit.
So what happens is it's funny because I was talking to Jay about this. You can, if you have a strong woman, you can't tell a woman to be less strong. You can't. If she's a strong woman who has earned a certain level of proficiency in her life, she's not gonna be. You can't ask her to be. Oh, he's a nice guy. Just be nicer to him. He's a good guy. Give him a chance.
Right.
That is you're dead.
That's no.
Put a bullet in your head. It's over.
Yeah.
You can only have a guy who's not strong enough for the woman, right? Mm-hmm. Who he needs to know that he's out of his league, right? And he needs to move on.
Either has to raise his game or
he has to raise his game and understand that he needs to be stronger and more consistent and more credible and more authentic and more clear about what his direction is in general.
I agree with that.
So if you ask her, and it's no reflection on a woman, because a woman is gonna find that kind of strength out of whatever shit she goes through, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's really not she becomes that because of the circumstances, and then to ask her to be weaker in a situation where because she's strong like that, because that's where she finds her safety. She feels safe, and feels like she needs to be that way to be safe. And so a strong woman can only be with a stronger man. You can't have her with a weaker dude or a beta dude, and then ask her to kind of, you don't be so hard on him. That's just not. She's gonna chew him up and spit him out. And if she doesn't chew him up, if she's really mature, what she'll just go is, yeah, I'm not even attracted to you. The attraction just doesn't happen. So I'm gonna just shout out to Jay, because Jay, I was talking to Jay and she was like, I listened to the show, and she goes, I know that the principles that you talk about on the show are universal. A lot of times but because we have a heavy male listenership, that's what we talk about, because that's the questions we get. And when we get other questions, so I want to say this for the record, the female listeners, because we do have female listeners, write the emails. I'll talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Just send me a question, because I'm just dealing with whatever happens. So anyway, shout out to Ento Beige Phillip fans. And
we had a great gig.
Yeah,
a great gig we all did
Good
together.
People just came out and just, we took pictures and hung out with people. So just want to shout out everybody.
Nice to meet the fans. Yeah, so we rode up there.
Makes me we got to do something live.
What happened with Sammy Sosa?
All right, so we came down to New York. We had the spot. We did. I don't know if you did that where you did Fairfield and then you come back down and do New York. You do close out New York Comedy Club.
No, I didn't do them both at the same time. I did Fairfield.
For whatever reason, we were booked for both at the same time.
Right. So
we did Connecticut.
Because he was trying to put a couple extra dollars in my pocket, because the money is kind of shit.
Yep.
So we get back, and the crowd is a Dominican family. That's there was a husband, maybe girl, and
were they cooking
daughter.
in the front row?
They were drinking. They were drinking El Presidente.
They didn't let him take in the hibachi.
It was one dude,
the doorman,
a daughter, and I think it was like a teen dude too, like a young guy, because he was scared.
The young guy.
Real quick, my favorite thing in New York City to do is there's a park on 53rd and 11th that if I time it right in the springtime, I can go smoke a stogie and watch the Dominicans. That they got the drums, they're barbecuing.
Where they play the soccer at? Yeah, I know.
Watch Dominicans watch a gay baseball league. It's the funniest.
This episode of Discovery Channel is fun.
Dude,
they have a gay baseball.
There's a gay baseball league. Really? It is so fucking funny, dude.
Espérate, loco, what are you doing? This guy can't throw any ball.
Yeah, like, I don't know what they're saying, but I'm positive they're saying faggot a lot in Spanish. Pinche cabrón.
But the interest and love for baseball keeps them there.
Yeah.
This guy is messing it up. Why is he putting the baseball in his eyes?
I got a buddy, a gay dude, that said back in like the 90s that league was so competitive that they were getting ringers. They're getting straight ringers. So every team, at least back in the day, had the right to question one dude's gay card, so they could make it's like, yo, if Dante looks like he's a fucking ringer, I've never seen this guy around before, you got to kiss him.
Just run up to him like, name a Madonna album.
That was like their version of drug testing. You can fag test somebody.
You got to tongue this guy's mouth, otherwise you can't get on that ball.
Gargle it.
Sing Christina Aguilera, nigga, now.
Yeah. There's the umpire having to enforce that. Look, fellas, if not, I got to throw you out of this ball game.
They put on a Lady Gaga song if you start singing along. Like, all right, you're good.
He tongue kiss the dude spits, and you go, get out of here.
Yeah, he's got a big chaw in him. Big lipper.
So we came back, and the dude was heckling. He was drunk, and he was heckling. He just kept talking, and I kind of shut him down, and Harry engaged him, because I don't know if he didn't see it, and then he shut him down. And then he shut him down.
Dante, then Harry?
That was weird. I don't know why they had him not.
Well, they didn't know.
Somebody lost a coin toss.
Well, it annoys me because he has to fucking close every time, but the one time he doesn't close is I have to which, whatever. I don't give a shit.
So the guy comes and
because I think Dante is very, Dante rarely doesn't get to close, so I think as to appease him, they're like, all right, we're gonna say you get the fuck out.
You're gonna go with Harry. Go fuck your friend.
Yeah. Take this guy over.
But it was fine. It was a weird late night set, whatever. But the guy was a little talkative, and then I was like, "Oh, you're fucking." I missed it. I wasn't watching your set.
He was drunk as shit.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, you're unreachable." All right, fuck it. Keep moving forward, and blah blah. blah.
You're trying to turn, and then you realize he's so drunk that
the lights are out.
Yeah, you can't even get anything back to fucking beat him up with. Like he's just giving you nothing. So you're like, all right, fuck it.
As long as he's talk right through it, no matter what.
And then afterwards, we're sitting in the bar, And he comes out, he goes, espérate, hey, oh, loco, cálmate, ay, loco, cálmate,
Mayans, are you listening, Mayans?
This is his audition. Dante's audition.
Look, I'm going all in there. Oh, loco, oye, man, oye.
Something, tequila.
Then he goes, oh, you the tough guy. In the movie.
What was that thing from the show?
The show.
No, you didn't even get to that part. What's the name of? Now he's asking us around, and we're like, I'm not helping you. Like, I don't. What's the name of the show, man?
This
show.
Guy, oh, you the tough guy.
And Dante's like, hey, man, if I gotta write the joke for you, it's not gonna work, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to guess the show. Well,
but
he goes, you know what? The show, the Sosa Anarchy.
That's what you call it says.
And then Matt Richards.
Sosa Anarchy.
He doesn't even wait for the guy to leave the bar. He's like, Sosa Anarchy. Sosa Anarchy. And Sosa Anarchy keeps going, and it's like, fine, whatever. It's like, hey, bro, whatever. And I go, hey, man, I'm not going to help you write the joke. So he looks at me, and he's like, hey, you don't want to hear what I got to say about you. I'm like, you're right. I literally don't want to hear anything you have to say. And then he gets a little feisty with you.
And then I'm like, yo, don't, like, I go, yo, don't do that. Like, and it gets, so anybody that knows me, right, I'm on, you know, I mean, as long as you know me, we say, hey, Rich, what's up, blah, 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 it's love. But when I turn that corner, it's like, because I see that this guy is getting ready to get disrespectful.
Right.
So what I was thinking about when you were talking about it comes down to pussy and money and shit like that. Yeah, it comes down to pussy and money, but that's way down the road.
I don't know if it's just pussy and
money.
No,
like some physical shit, like, you know, you want to smack somebody. That's...
You're saying long-term resentment.
Yeah, I mean the shit that keeps you up at night.
Well, some people have the pussy and the money, and they're still pieces of shit and resentful.
And I think sometimes it is...
But it's
like,
usually over those things.
Nobody's... Listen, pussy and money don't bother James at all. He's petty as fuck. Like, if you fuck Goff?
James Goff, yeah. Well, you gotta let the listeners know. I know who you're talking about.
You got, like, when you cross that motherfucker, he will lay in the cup for 10 years.
Oh, for real?
And then you say, hey, man, what's going on? Oh, now what's up, motherfucker?
Yeah.
What was up 10 years ago?
When you or not?
Actually,
can't tell that story, the 8 years, yeah.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. You know, I don't give a fuck.
Tell that real quick.
You want me to tell it?
All right, no, because, all right, so... What I forgot the first part.
Wait, let me finish this one.
Yeah.
So we go into the guy, and he's starting to be disrespectful. So, but I have like this I know this, like I've been.
See it coming.
It's so much.
Because you go stop
shit.
it. You go stop it.
When it shows so much shit, it's like soon as that. The guy is, I know where this is going. Mm-hmm. So he sees me as I'm the big, he wants to poke the bear. He's getting ready to be disrespectful, and so I changed and I'm like, don't do that. And it's quiet now. Every comics, anybody, I don't know if you've ever been around but comics know me. When it stops.
This is not an uncommon occurrence.
Yeah, this is not a common.
At the bar.
Well, I mean, I know body language and all that. That I mean, I'm just.
But it
just turns from being fun to.
Yeah.
So I put my heel up on the stool, right? Lock my heel in the stool so I could push off because now I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm like fucking the Equalizer. I look at my watch, 27 seconds, and then
I look at Andre. I see Andre's ready.
Were you standing?
I take my glasses off.
I was sitting on the bench, but he was acting up, and he kept, so you didn't talk, hey, you didn't. There's so anarchy, right? And he's so like, oh, you want to? And I'm like, yeah, don't do that, dude. Don't do that. And then I look at Dre. Dre looks at me, he kind of like, I'm like, all right, well, I look at Harry, I'm like, okay.
I mean, we weren't going to get much of it.
I don't know if you were going to get any of that meat, because
but we were ready. I mean,
that's always good, right?
I always, in those situations, my role, you always look at is not to jump in, because you got that, but I have to look around and make sure Anarchy doesn't have friends.
Yeah, you got to fight his wife.
Or whatever it is. You know, I have to.
He's talking to me, and even his daughter's like 13, 14, and she could even feel the energy
Like, she starts tugging on him.
She goes, Daddy, come on, let's go. I gotta go do my homework.
And then everyone
Saturday night
bursts out laughing. Right?
And she's like, oh, now you want to do your homework. You don't ever want to do the homework.
Funny. Right, he ratted out his daughter. Right. And then now you like English.
You're failing all your classes.
And now he's so drunk. No, the daughter is the responsible one. If we could get him away from her, I think she could be a doctor.
Yeah.
And because she was the adult going, hey, she was like tapping her watch going, hey.
You know Tom Cassidy, right? You know Tom. Yeah, so Tom is there. And Tom has seen it a couple of times. As soon as I make that turn, Tom is like, don't do that. Tom is a sweetheart. He's like, this is not. Oh, dude.
Buddy. Well, guys, we don't want trouble hearing any language.
Then he kind of walks out and he walks up. But so
Matt, back in, try to buy his drink.
He was like, I was going to buy you a drink. And then I go, yo, we don't want your fucking drink. Right?
He goes, I'm driving. And then he goes, you're driving? I go, yeah. I jump in. I go, yeah, we're all driving. Everybody here's driving. Like,
fuck carpools.
And then Matt goes, what are you talking about? I want to drink Sons of Anarchy. I like this guy.
He looks like a great guy to me.
And I'm looking at Matt like, Matt,
you motherfucker.
You fucking piece of shit.
And then the rest of the night, we just spent going,
That's so good.
To the point where I debated getting leather vest made on the back with a crest that says Salsa Anarchy.
I thought you were going to say you're going to get a tattoo.
Oh, Salsa Anarchy.
But I actually have I've got a mini resentment that's been going. Not a mini. Fuck this dude.
Okay, what is it?
Full-grown resentment.
That is not money or pussy related, but in the green room of New York Comedy Club, 5 or 6 of us hanging out, and everybody's just bullshitting, everybody's boys, whatever. The dude next to me, who I won't name on air, is on his phone, and he's typing something in his phone, and his phone says, Richie Redding is a nice guy, but... And he starts fumbling with it. He's like, you can make your phone talk. Isn't that cool? Did you know you can make your phone talk now?
Oh, jeez.
What was I going to say? He's like, I was just like writing something. I was like, finish it. He's like, and then he like types something in and it's like, Ryan DeCalos on the slam cam. Like, well, that's not what you were typing before. What were you typing before? He's like, he just like, you cocksucker. Try to finish that sentence with something that's not going to make you want to slap somebody.
It's shirts. I don't like
Richie's a nice guy.
It's that butt. It's that butt. Yeah. Like, you petty fuck.
I'd have been like, Richie Red is a nice guy, but I fucking hate his hair. I'm so jealous.
You gotta like save it.
You got good hair, you fucking piece of shit.
Oh, thank you. I've had this haircut since I was 9.
This you just worked
I believe that too.
It's an intricate system of calyx.
That hair knocked the ball over somebody's fence.
Can I get my ball back, please?
No,
buddy. I'm just hoping this Propecia keeps working.
Oh, you're on the Propecia?
Yeah, I got yellow cum, but fuck it, I'm keeping this hair.
Yeah, I've used it. It's good. It lasted.
Yeah, I'm coming melted crayons, but
it's what DHT related, right?
I don't read the back of the bottle, you fucking bum. I'm sure you have some. Can't you just let us be?
What are you making some bathtub Propecia or something?
I'm saying it's like natural ones that won't fuck with your dick.
Oh, really?
So there's other options. I'm trying to save you in your stinking sex life.
It's actually good. It was first made as a prostate drug.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the exact same thing. Right? So it's a DHT, which is the strongest, most potent form of testosterone that causes that. So if it's the same thing, saw palmetto berries can help it. That's natural, and you won't have to worry about your dick not working.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's dehydrotestosterone.
Anything, if you want to know anything about dicks, Andre will tell you.
All across the world.
I know that's both a compliment and a...
Oh, yeah, I tried to take it. There's nothing I can do. What the fuck I'm going to do?
Listen.
Salsa Anarchy, okay? Salsa Anarchy. What the fuck I'm going to do with that?
You really sat on that one.
There's nothing I can do with that.
You were both flat-footed like a motherfucker on that one.
Well, also, at least while I'm in a relationship, I don't have to worry about yellow jizz. It's that next girl that you fucking come a highlighter on her. It's
yellow, bro.
Because at least Lisa knows this shit changed colors because of the drugs. She was there like real time.
She was there during the white days.
To the creamy days.
Yeah, who needs a pearl necklace when you can get a candy corn necklace?
Like the canary diamonds.
Mine doesn't do that. Shit.
Yeah.
No, mine is still pretty. Or then again, how crystal it could be whiter, I guess.
Buddy, I got some movie popcorn butter on.
That's a weird one. Everybody's
just as clear.
I'm shooting at Jergens, baby.
Get Andre to get us this crushed turtle shell or whatever we got to take.
I'll take that too. I'm not stopping. I'm trying to keep this fucking hair.
But the point I was trying to make was that it's so because of the fact that I'm so aware of what's going on, it never gets to the point where I never get to the point where it's pussy and money.
Yeah.
Because and this is
the stripper alliance thing. Remember, you was like how you were trying to organize all your guys.
Yeah.
But those guys, so it may not be for you, but those guys got all inflated because their girlfriends. So it, in a way, indirectly, did come from pussy or money.
It did, but what happens?
Not on your end.
But what I'm going to say is the problem is not that it comes from pussy or money. Let me back up a little bit. So I have this thing, and this is in reference to, like, I talk about, I came in with this idea from Trump, from watching Trump, right?
Where do you get all your ideas from?
Well, right, all my ideas. In fact, that's why my kitchen's orange. So, damn, I'm good.
What color his jizz is?
I don't know what it is. Well, so what happens?
The color of his
Trump jizz.
So,
between the hair dye and whatever chemicals and
good.
the KFC grease, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it comes out like antifreeze, like coolant. So I'm gonna go lime green.
Yeah, but they got the other coolant. They got the orange coolant.
Oh, yeah?
They're going.
I think it's mad thick. Like, I think it barely comes out because he's so dehydrated. Like, he comes and
it's
nothing
like
really.
The last bit of toothpaste.
Well, I think he has an orgasm and nothing comes out, and then he farts like 2 minutes later, and it all comes.
And then it all.
God, what do you got for that, Andre? What kind of drug?
He's like, actually, nettle.
Need some moose tooth.
But so what I'm saying is that it escalates to money and those things. What I was saying about so Trump. What I'm saying with Trump is, people are like crazy about it's another scandal, every day it's another thing, but the bottom line, and everybody's like, oh my god. But what's gonna happen? And they're talking about, well, nobody cares that he keeps fucking up. Nobody cares. But the thing is that wherever you go, there you are. So somebody, there's something new. There's a new scandal every day. So
you can't help it.
The point is, there's another two. So we still are on the precipice of another 2 years of scandal. Every single day. And at some point in time, you get to the point. I mean, I think racists are going to go, we'll square the round peg anyway, because the whole point is he's keeping brown people in check, and so that's really what I think the motivation is.
And right now they're making a lot of money because of the stock market.
Sure, but the people who are perpetuating him have nothing to do. They ain't got no stocks. If you're wearing a dumb red hat, your dumb red hat doesn't go with your Brooks Brothers suit. You know what I'm saying? So the people that are making the money,
not unless you bought low on trailer parks.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, right. The stock market's not the economy, but it's still something that bizarrely people cling to.
Yeah, which you don't have you.
Well, because it's
like,
the
what the fuck are you
ultimate.
doing?
It's the ultimate way to making money. The stock market can stay up because it's not based on actual production.
Well,
to an extent.
I had an argument with this racist dude outside of stand-up New York, and he was telling me GDP. Do you know GDP? Do you know? I go, yeah, I know. Well, that's the way that you measure the economy. And I was like, not if you're in prison. Yeah. You're in prison, you don't give a fuck about the GDP. If you're an immigrant and you're trying to get asylum, you worrying about MS-13 cutting your fucking hands off, you don't give a fuck GDP. There's an array of different ways where you measure how well the economy is going and how well life in America is. But that's a whole other thing. My point is, people are who they are and they continue to do what they do. And so when you see this guy, the Sons of Anarchy guy, is a guy, he's a perpetual line stepper.
Oh, yeah.
So he's always going to do that. So I'm not waiting until he says something offensive. He's engaging me in a way that that he shouldn't be that comfortable engaging with me. So why would I think? Do I think at some point he's going to say, "Hey, I was out of line. Sorry, guys."
Yeah.
You know, he's going to keep pushing. So him pushing means I'm gonna slam the brakes on this immediately. You want me to buy you a drink? Yo, let me buy you. I was going through. You a tough guy. I want to buy you a drink. Yeah, I don't want your fucking drink.
Yeah.
Now but everybody looks at me like I'm the asshole because he's just drunk. Nah, he's not just drunk.
No.
He's a perpetual line stepper
asshole
who's gonna keep pushing, and I'm gonna end up going in his mouth and I'm gonna give him a root canal, and then everybody's gonna go, "Why was that necessary?" And I was like, "Cause I didn't stop this motherfucker when he said, I mean, buy you a drink, fight a guy, use blood over but I'll stop you right the fuck there."
Right.
And if you don't, what you have to with age and just not just age but wisdom, you have to see the trajectory
of where things are going,
where things are going
in relationships.
And if you really pay attention, you won't make those mistakes. You know, you just won't make it. So you talk about guys who were sober got into a relationship where this woman was trying to party. And then they go, all right, you could just drink with me. And then it becomes one. Understand the trajectory of that. The trajectory ultimately was death.
Yeah.
That they didn't even see going in. That started with a glass of wine. Do you know what I mean? So it's like at some point in time, you have to be mature enough and make your choices so that you don't perpetuate these mistakes that you've made throughout your whole life.
Right, and I mean that's definitely like a super heightened example of it.
Sure.
Of, you know, when there's the booze there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it. You know, for me, it's kind of played out to be like if I can't be in an unhealthy relationship. You know, like I learned so much from that it's like if somebody is inconsiderate is a fundamental personality trait.
Sure.
You know, and it's like.
Right, it's not like a hobby.
Like that was a thing.
That is a core.
Yeah, it's like something was fucked up in your family, in your upbringing, whatever it was, that like you're going to always be inconsiderate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I talked to my nephew has a girlfriend now who is a perpetual line stepper, and she probably had some sexual abuse or whatever, she'll catch him maybe looking at some girl's butt, and then she'll do something like she'll flirt with a dude at a restaurant to pay him back.
Yeah,
and he might not even realize that he looked at some girl's butt. But what happens is when I say to him is that here's a woman who basically anytime she feels that you have wronged her, she wants a pound of flesh for that.
Right.
And she's willing to take it from you, whether or not she's right or not, simply because her emotions say that you disrespected her or you did something wrong. Now,
she wants to punish somehow.
The time, the only thing that your emotions prove is that you feel that way. That's all it does.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're right. Doesn't mean you're wrong. Doesn't mean any of those things. Those are things you got to look in. But if you're making your decisions based on your emotional feeling about what happened, you are 98% of the time trying to 98% of the time you're wrong.
Yeah.
Because your emotions fog the clarity in which you can make decisions.
I was just thinking about that same chick, the one that was just fundamentally inconsiderate,
right?
Mm-hmm. And it was like the unwinding the relationship took as long as the relationship itself, because it was like every holiday there would be some kind of attempt to reconnect, and it always ended in selfishness and her being inconsiderate. And one of the last times that I spoke to her, this is a two-part thing. So one of the last times I spoke to her, I was like, look, I wouldn't wish loving you on anybody, and I don't want to ever talk to you ever again unless you just have some amends that you have to make to get off your chest. But other than that, I'm out.
Right.
And she texted me that she was going to be at there's a convention that I was like headlining. And she texted me like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm going to be there tomorrow. And I was like, okay, is this amends related somehow. Because
otherwise,
you know where I stand. So she's like, yeah, it is. So I'm at this thing. Everybody's dressed like normal grown-ups at a Saturday,
casual,
alcoholic convention.
Yeah.
She shows up ready for the club. Wow. Like fucking camel toe. You could see her fucking pierced nipples. It was crazy. She shows up. She's like all bouncy in front of me, and she's like, hey. I was like, hi. It's like, are we talking or what?
That hey was cold for me. Like I was like, God, Richie, you don't want to talk to me?
Yeah.
Like,
no, hers was hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, but I mean,
your response.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but dude, this is after years of psychopathic relationship or sociopathic. So we step aside, and I was like, so? And she's like, yeah, so I don't really know what I did wrong, so how about you tell me a list of things I have to apologize for, and I'll apologize. It's just
fuck away from me.
Dude. So that was the last time I saw her, ever. But
what was the response? What was your response? And what was...
I just walked away. I can't fucking handle this. So
nor should you.
When I broke up with her, she the first time, she's like sitting there smoking a cigarette, which was gross. But she's like, I just want to have a chance I want to make somebody love me and just break their heart. She's like, I just want to rip somebody's heart out like you're ripping out mine. Like, I'm not enjoying this, I'm not doing
this ain't fun.
I gave you a list. All I asked for is to have fucking dinner with your family. You've had 6 months to do it. You couldn't deliver on that. I don't feel like this can possibly go anywhere if I can't. If you won't give me the respect.
Now,
or
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because I've been with girls who I really don't hang around with her family. I don't really. It doesn't really bother me. But the reason why it doesn't bother me is because I don't really fuck with my family. You know what I mean?
I do.
In a sense that. So I will allow a woman to protect me from her crazy family.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to have a conversation about that.
I think there's more to it than that.
She was her stepmother was a cunt. Her dad she was close with, and so basically the straw that broke the camel's back was that she invited me to the family vacation, which was okay, they'll see I'm a good dude, yeah. And I canceled a week worth of work, and it's Thursday night. I'm ready to drive down, so we can leave Friday. And she was like, "Oh, you don't have to come." It's like, "What do you mean I don't have to come?" She's like, you don't have to. It's like,
do you not want me?
Am I not invited? She's like, well, I mean, nobody else is bringing anybody. It's like, well, 3 weeks ago, this was okay. So it was that level of inconsiderate, right?
Yeah.
But
that's just inconsiderate.
But okay, so hold on, you got to hear this. So I'm living with this dude Johnny, who's a musician. He's
life partner.
Yeah. He's my hetero life mate. And he's from Cape May, which is 20 miles away from where she lives.
Yeah.
She starts making friends, knowing
friends?
only Johnny and his Facebook. She starts making friends with his friends. And we're seeing them pop up on Facebook and shit. This is weird. Me and him both had a gig. He had a music gig. I had a comedy gig in Philly. And he's looking out. She had a real distinct look, and he's looking out. He's like, that's Richie's girl. And she's all hugged up with some very young dude. And she was 28, 29 at the time. And he gets off stage, and he goes over to her. He's like, you're Richie's ex. And she's like, yeah. She has a fucking foot tattoo, which is the Banksy painting of the little girl holding a bomb.
Yeah.
And he looks down at her foot. He's like, "That's Richie's favorite painting by Richie's favorite artist." And she gives a little shrug, and he looks at the dude. He's like, "That's fucking weird, right?" And he gives the guy a knock and walks away. So luckily, I just missed having to see this bitch, which would have been weird as shit. But this is where, when I tell you this fucking horrible person is inconsiderate. So I just said to I kind of knew the friends that she was connecting with.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, this is really weird.
Right.
I'm sure you don't see it. They're like, this isn't about you. It's this is weird. Something very
So you're
unusual.
saying this is just, she's a crazy, she's
but
fucking
I was
nuts.
like, this is some attempt to stay in my orbit. This is fucking weird. And they're like, it's not about you, whatever.
Who is saying it's not about you?
her friends the friends that she became friends with.
Who were your friends or your friends' friends?
Who was like my best friend's friend. Yeah. So like a month later, they call Johnny and they're like, dude, this girl's a fucking bitch. Like,
okay. How so?
Yeah, how?
How so?
So,
really?
So the equivalent of this, Friday night, this guy who is 20, right? And he's like kind of newly sober. They go out and she.
Now, is your boy? Are they all like rehab dudes? Or,
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
wow,
which adds
heightened
emotions to the whole
and that
thing.
adds a whole lot of dimension to that because they're trying to hold their shit together.
Yeah.
So they're trying to be hyper aware of what's going around them so they don't fall victim to their addiction.
And she's a real life 9, so that's like a rehab 12. You know,
right?
All the teeth right next to each other. So
in a row.
So basically, they go out and they've been dating for a month and they tell each other, they both say "I love you" for the first time, and she never picked up the phone from this kid ever again.
Oh, you just said "I love you" and then you never spoke to him again.
And when they told me that, I was like, she fucking did it.
Yeah,
she did that crazy thing that she said she wanted to do, which is to make somebody love her and then fucking bounce.
Yeah, he probably didn't mean it anyway.
Right.
I believe that kid did.
Yeah.
At 20.
So
yeah, but that's not real.
But he thought he did.
It's not real, but that's as real as it gets.
That'll be I'll get a consultation from him. I'll be like, you didn't love that bitch. I'll be like, your bitch was awful. What did you love about her?
But for real, tell me that's not sociopath.
Oh,
that's insane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
She did it.
Yeah.
For it to be a goal.
Yeah.
For it to be a goal, and she fucking, of all the things for her to set the goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's
not the sobriety part.
No. Yeah. Just laying a spider web of fucking love.
Oh, God.
Horrible.
Which I guess the supply and demand aspect of it is like you can do that as a woman a little bit more often because you can just choose.
You can bait it with the pussy,
right.
Especially if you're 9, you can suck somebody in for some shit like that.
And that's also probably what drives her nuts is that you probably the only one who's ever said
rehab.
Beat it, bitch.
For sure,
right?
Rehab 9 is a 15. Phone company 5 is a 12.
Phone company girls all have that sunglass meat.
That's why they keep the glasses.
I'm never not going to notice that sunglass.
The midget I fucked had the same sunglass meat.
Dude, that is a mismatch.
She had a big, big head.
Like a pride fight?
She had the wire, the wire glasses that go around your ear that you have to go like, you have to put it behind your ear.
The old Thomas Jefferson, or the old Ben Franklin.
And the fucking side of the glasses was just gave a little dark mark from rubbing the glasses against.
Jesus Christ, what else did she have? Like the dog cone on her neck?
I mean, at times, during play.
She had the Forrest Gump braces on her legs.
Well, Dante did put her in a dog cage, but that was a different thing. That was
she
for play.
asked.
Yeah.
Could you go balls deep on a midget?
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, well, she was a big midget. Like, if you had a midget basketball team, she'd be the center. Absolutely. She would, sometimes she would try to dunk on me, like the lettuce, when we would put groceries away. She'd try to dunk in the crisper. Like, she'd be What
the fuck?
Did you Matumbo that shit? No,
not in this house. But being aware of that, and I just think as you get older and you get mature, you become more aware. So you see the flags, you see the signals earlier, and then you're able to stop the nonsense much quicker. And you go, and because Harry's really getting good. Even Dre's getting good at it now, where he sees it coming.
Oh, sure.
Soon as the thing, she'll be like, I like the color blue better than aqua. And you're like, that's weird. Yeah. You're like, this bitch is a sociopath.
Why does that come up? When has that been a debate?
I had a chick who was talking about her fucking goofy ass. She's like her parents was getting older. And she said, yeah, I'm going there. And they're having dementia. Mm-hmm. And then it was crying about how the kids, it's just I could have been better. I could have, yeah. And I was like, well, they're still alive. You could still be better, you know. And she was like,
what's the point? They won't remember.
Right? She's like, it's so different. Now she's talking to me, who just lost his mother, lost my. I don't have nobody.
I didn't. Yeah,
right.
I didn't know that.
And she's talking to me on the day of my mom's memorial.
Ew.
And I'm like,
anniversary. Yeah.
And I'm like,
did she know that?
Well, she was there at the funeral, and even if she didn't, she knew that I had lost both parents.
Within a year,
still like it was within a year. It was a year's memorial, but it was also a situation where why you're talking to me about this, and I have nobody. Like both my parents are dead. So even if you didn't know that this was the date, which you should have, because we have been dating for quite some time, she should have known, but. Just I don't care about.
It's just about
this thing you're doing with your mother. And
remember, Cinnabon talked about the chick he was with watching the royal wedding.
Oh yeah,
like, isn't this fantastic? How
she's
wonderful!
So beautiful,
and he's like,
so romantic. And I said to him, "You don't even understand how disrespectful."
Because he shut her down.
Yeah,
to
he
begin
did,
with,
but he didn't.
What was the?
So she was watching. He had just went through a divorce. He was dating this new girl.
Cinnabon?
We call him Cinnabon as a nickname. Civilian. He's it's a long story. He's a civilian.
Yeah. But he I helped him get through his divorce and his marriage and get him back. Cinnabon got his groove back, and he was like 53 years old with his first threesome and all kinds of shit.
Ballin'.
Yeah, and then feeling like, oh, I could have been doing this? Right. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he is Superman. He's making up for lost time.
He's killing it. So, but the chick was watching the royal wedding, and she was like, oh, it's so romantic. It was so romantic. Now, mind you, the first time he met this chick, she was like, oh, I'm not going to be with nobody for 6 months and they don't give me a ring. And
6 months.
And he was heavily under my tutelage, and he was like, "Let me get the check." And she goes, "Where you going?" And he goes, "I have no intention on marrying you. And if this is where you think is gonna, I'm leaving.
Yeah,
you can stay and eat. I'm gone." And then he ended up, because he had checked her immediately. Right. This was their first date, mind you. He checked. She couldn't get enough of him because. There's a thing, and we'll talk about that later. I want to make sure we bring that up, the combination of both, why you're going to get stabbed.
Jesus.
But we'll talk about it. And then she was watching the royal wedding, and she was talking about, oh, it's so romantic. And I said to him, you don't even realize how disrespectful what she's doing. And he was like, what do you mean? I go, she's loving the royal wedding. I go, but you just went through a horrible divorce. Would it be okay after your son ended up in a car accident and was burned 90% of his body if he was like, yeah, let's go to a barbecue. Let's call your son up. Let's go barbecue and barbecue outside. Like, my point is, where's the empathy for the fact that he went through this horrible divorce?
That was your problem.
That's not. This right here is beautiful. I think it's beautiful, and I don't give a fuck. Now, I could love barbecue, but I'm not going to take a burn victim to a fucking barn burning. You know what I mean?
Did the kid get burned in the barn?
No, I'm just saying,
because certain things will make it complicated. Like if you,
all right, that's listen. You're getting lost on the example.
You're missing the point.
You're getting lost on that
some
example.
Things I'm not missing the fucking point. If you have a friend that passed in the race car, whatever the fuck, Lambo, are Lambos just not nice cars anymore?
No, but what you would say, look, if you got a woman and she just had a miscarriage, right?
Yeah.
You don't go, oh, I want you to come to my baby shower, and I want you to, like, it's just being thoughtful of the fact of what this person is going through.
I don't know if I agree with the
of course not.
Scenario.
You know why? I'm going to tell you why.
With the wedding scenario.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you why you don't think so. Because we as guys don't give a fuck. There's so much stuff that we just let roll off our back because you're a guy and you just do it.
I feel like that's on him for being generous enough with his time that he's like, yeah, I'll sit here and watch the fucking.
No, he wasn't watching. He was like, I'm not watching this shit.
She just had it on in the background while he's doing whatever
and she's just gushing.
And he what? Right, and then she just kept yada.
It didn't affect him. The point is like
this is my point.
The level of the courtesy that you have to tippy toe around a bunch of shit as a guy, is not equivalent on the woman's part. Like whatever the fuck it is, it doesn't matter. Literally, hey, I've been divorced 3 times. This marriage thing doesn't work. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I want to be married though.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
If your last girl got beat on by a previous dude, you can still watch boxing.
Like, certain things are not absolute.
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying... But you
Might
don't
be good
go.
for her.
Yeah, but you're probably not going to watch the movie too.
Learn that Mayweather. You gotta,
that roll, that shoulder roll.
Got to slip and pivot, baby.
I got to tell you, if Ike Turner comes at you, you just can't clutch him and bear hug him.
Look at Floyd's teeth. Now look at your teeth, honey. Look at his. Look at yours.
Here's my thing. It's okay to watch boxing.
Didn't help Floyd's
But
wife.
it's not okay to watch co-ed boxing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let's not watch co-ed boxing, right? I'm not going to watch a dude beat the shit out of somebody. Let's just not do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch the Tina Turner story where you eat the cake anime. I'm not going to...
What's love got to do with it?
I'm not going to do that because this is what we do as guys. We anticipate that.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is if you meet a girl who's anticipating your happiness, that's the girl that you should fucking be with.
Oh, there you go.
See how I did that?
Yeah.
Yo,
nice.
You need a Red Bull.
No, I don't.
No?
What are we doing? 6 more hours? Great.
Like when I turn the fucking
volume on? There we go. Okay, that's loud. There we are.
Yeah. Richie, thank you so much for coming, dog.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, bro.
Can I plug something?
Yeah, we're going to... Yeah, absolutely.
Plug it.
Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you coming in. It was a little short notice, but I really, really dig,
I wanted to do it for
plug whatever you want to plug. And your Twitter, Instagram, all that shit.
Well, you can find me on everything at Richie Redding. My podcast is...
Spell Richie Redding.
RICHIE REDDING. But the biggest thing I got going on is my album. It's my debut album drops October 22nd. You're going to be able to, or I'm sorry, 23rd. You're going to be able to get the pre-orders. It's called Late Bloomer. It's 1 hour of Richie Redding in the motherfucking house.
Yeah.
And
Cop that.
Yeah,
drops on Tuesday. You heard?
I'm very pleased with it.
Where's my horn? No, that's the wrong horn. Good job. There you go.
You hit me with the tugboat.
That's a weird party.
That's the white version. He's international.
That's the white hot
international
97.
Water.
Hey, we got a real
channel.
We got a real hot jam coming at
That's
you.
the
A
white
little bit of
hot
Cat
97
Boone
right
coming for you. Get those
Drake,
party boats
talk
started.
to me, yo.
Yo, just follow me on Instagram and Twitter, man. Andre D. Thompson. That's it.
All right, Harry.
You can go to my website, IHateComedy.com, to follow my social media at Harry Turjanian. And as always, I am doing color commentary and the owner of Capital Wrestling.
In the building.
That's right, Capital Wrestling every Monday night. Hey, you can see how I took over the company. Check it out on YouTube. I'm all over the fucking place. It's great. I'm having the best time.
Everything with me, you can check the Dante Nero Instagram. That's important. I'm trying to build those numbers up. Don't forget to click on Dante Nero. Click on consult. You want a one-on-one consultation? Just hit me and book some time. GYBB, get your balls back. BABB, be a better bitch. WWDD, what would Dante do? The sexual revolution is being podcasted, and I dig you, yo. I love y'all, man. We getting ready to relaunch. It's getting close, man. School 202. A lot of things going down. We are out.